Hey, this episode of The Debrief is brought to you by Sheba. It's a great rideshare app where all the drivers are women. That's right, every single driver is a woman. So set up your account by downloading the Apple or Android app, and multiple users can use the one account. Enjoy the one account. And also, this is a great idea for dads like myself. You can set up an account for your daughters. Corporate accounts are available too. Sheba also takes booking. It's female-only driving service.
She goes, are we talking about the same woman? You sure? I went, well, did you see her? She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, did you have a mummy look or a daddy look? Well, guys, good on you for turning up to support your school. Well done. Hopefully it wasn't too much swearing. You know, principal.
All right, yeah, we'll be in touch. You're on The Debrief with Dave O'Neill, and my guest is from, oh God, the 3 Triple R Breakfasters. And I saw you on Get Crackin' the other night.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. Geraldine Hickey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know if
Thanks for listening.
I'm just trying to get out of this
Don't
car,
crash into that Mercedes-Benz.
They've done well here. We've just done a gig at a Catholic primary school, which you were fantastic.
Thank you, as were you.
I have to say, you had one of the best introductions I've ever seen. So it's in a big hall, a big classic old Catholic school hall. And this guy...
/ basketball court.
Yeah, it was like a gym. It wasn't... I'd say that's more a gym, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Than a hall.
School assemblies.
Yeah, big
Hey,
events. A lot of stalls and a fete in there.
Yeah.
And the guy who I don't know, he must have been a parent.
He was the parent and the DJ.
And he had one of those sort of pretend ties and hats on, like...
He was wearing a fedora
Yeah.
and a T-shirt and tie combo.
And his introduction was like, all right, guys, we're going to get the comedy started now. It's a parent fundraising night. There's parents just talking. Here, our next guest is Geraldine Hickey. It's like,
Give it up.
It was barely any effort at show business. Now, I know he's not but you could, you know.
I think he was very nervous. And
Right.
and maybe I think he might have also been roped in at the last minute. Was there supposed to be a band on?
Yeah, but the band... Well,
Broke up. Like a week ago.
The woman emailed me and said, thanks for doing it tonight. There's been quite a few hiccups organising this event.
Don't need to know them.
No, we don't need to know them. Apparently the band broke up last week. They were meant to be playing.
Right.
So they had to get a DJ in. So maybe that was the guy who was emceeing and he was stressed because...
Yeah, that was the DJ, because the DJ was fedora, and he was wearing a fedora.
Oh, I get it. Right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So he'd just been foisted into that... Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, anyway, it was a...
But he had all week to prepare, because he said to Ivan Aristogeta was on,
Yes.
and he said he'd been Googling his name all week trying to find out how to pronounce
But
it.
did you not Google any of our credits at all? Because
No.
it's like... Because I had to go on after you, and I felt like saying, just bring me on. Just you bring me on. Don't worry about the guy at the fedora. Don't worry about Fedora. Fedora can stay behind his DJ box and bang out Time Warp later on.
Because he came over to me before, during the break, and he said, "Oh, so you're on? It's Geraldine Hickey." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Just want to make sure I get it right."
Yeah.
And then I thought he was going to say anything.
Done.
Left it.
And he just did nothing.
Just come on up. So, but the look on your face when he just went,
No! You can't bring on someone like that. But just
I just kind of went, oh well.
No, you just went on and you did very well. So it was very
Although
funny.
I started, because the whole time I'm in the first couple of minutes just going, I don't want to do anything good just yet.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to waste it on them, yeah.
I've got to go into MC mode and wait for everyone to settle down, but I couldn't remember anything. I had started on a joke and completely forgot it.
Oh,
and
that was funny.
Looked across to the side, no one was there anymore.
Oh, I was there, but I don't know that joke.
Yeah, neither do I, clearly.
So, I don't remember when I first met you, but I can't. I know you're from Albury, but no one starts comedy in Albury. They start in Melbourne, don't they?
Do you want me to tell you when we first met?
Yeah, go on.
So I remember.
Jeez, oh, here we go.
Was
it a positive experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
It was, when I did Raw, because you and Husey were hosting, and we got our makeup done together.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was a Raw Grand Final.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
2001.
Wow.
I know.
And who won that year? You.
No. Yeah, well, I'm the one that's come out on top. No, it was Emma Lachlan.
Oh, Emma Lachlan. Okay, yeah, right.
And deservedly so. She, like, on the night.
She did a great spot on the night, didn't she?
So smashed it. Because I went on straight after her. And I think I remember walking out just going, whoa, how great was that?
Yeah, right. So that year there was Penny.
Yes.
I remember talking to her. I can't remember. Anyone else still around, though?
Yes, Xavier Michaelides.
Oh, Michaelides.
Yeah.
Very funny man.
Who else? There was Yanni.
Yanni, yep. He's in England now. Yep. Michael Chamberlain.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember it now.
And Charlie Pickering didn't make it to the Nationals.
Oh, God.
But he was...
Oh, we've talked about Raw a lot on this podcast, and there's a lot of those stories.
Of, like, who didn't...
Oh, I hosted a heat where Tim Minchin didn't even get through.
Oh, that's right.
And Peter Hallier hosted one, he didn't get through. So, yeah, Raw wasn't around when I started. There were Battle of the Bands, but there were no comedy competitions.
Gosh.
Oh, that's interesting. So, had you done comedy before that?
No. Oh, that's a lie. I had done some talent nights.
Yeah, right.
And I think...
Where?
I once did because I grew up Catholic, and I went to World Youth Day in Rome in the year 2000.
Wow, you went to Rome when you were like at school, basically, were you?
Oh, no, I was
at uni, sort of that age
20,
group.
I think I was 20.
34, whatever.
1920. We went to Israel as well.
Oh, wow.
Had like 2 weeks in Israel doing a tour of the Holy Land.
Yeah. Was that good?
Yeah, on a historical level, it's kind of, it's quite fascinating.
Yeah,
just
amazing.
walking somewhere that's been there for 2,000 years, It's really, I found it quite amazing. But the novelty wore off pretty quick.
Yeah, you see one church, you go, I've seen another church.
Yeah. But the beer there was really nice.
Oh, the beer in Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hummus is supposed to be good in Israel.
And I met, because it was like being on a school camp again. You just on this tour with like 200 other people. And I was a bit apprehensive before going, just going, oh, this is going to be, I'm just going to be surrounded by religious nutters that are just going to want to read the Bible and pray all the time. And I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this too much. And then I went with another friend, so I knew I had her, and then this other person I got bunked up with, just because we had her last name started with H.
The H's were together.
Yeah. So we bonded over just being there because we got half the trip paid for. The local parish was wanted to sponsor people to go, and my mate who was doing youth work through the church is like, church has got all this money and no one's put in an application to go. Come to Rome with me. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
So I got half my trip paid for, and this other girl, Amy, that I was bunked up with, we just ended up sneaking off all the time and doing our own thing.
Yeah, great.
Stealing beers and.
Did you go to the Vatican?
Yeah, we went to the Vatican.
Of course.
But there was one night in Israel where we were all staying at a kibbutz, and then they put on a talent night.
Yeah, the classic camp thing to do.
Yeah,
we used to do that on scout camps. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went, I'm going to do some stand-up comedy.
Wow, so your first gig was in Israel?
Yeah, and do you know who it was in front of?
A Jewish person?
No, just all Catholics. And then at the end, one of them came up to me and said, I'm your biggest fan. That's really great stuff. You know who that was?
George Pell.
Yep. Archbishop George Pell.
No.
Yes.
I'm joking. I was joking.
I'm not. It was Georgie Pell.
George Pell?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And you know what else we did? We went to were at the Sea of Galilee, and they have like a pool next to the Sea of Galilee with a water slide, and you can, but just a straight water slide. It's just like a slide, a normal slide that goes into the Sea of Galilee.
Sure.
And I watched George Pell go down that water slide.
Oh my God, you should turn up to the magistrates and a bit of support for George up the back. Geraldine's here, I'm a big fan. You were a fan of mine, I'm not a big fan of yours anymore. But anyway, George, so he was on the tour as a teacher or just a person?
No, he was just there, because it was all, it was adults, young adults and stuff. So he was just there because he was the Archbishop of Melbourne at the time.
Yeah, wow. He loved your comedy.
Yeah.
What jokes did you do?
Well, I stole Greg Sullivan's jokes.
I'd just seen Greg Sullivan.
Yeah.
Brisbane comic.
Yeah, and I'd
Where were you seeing Greg?
I moved to Queensland to go to uni in Toowoomba, because he's from Toowoomba.
Oh, where Michelle Laurie's from too. Yeah, it's a fertile ground of comedy,
Yeah, so I lived there for a year. Well, almost a year. Not half a year. I went to uni up there, and I lived in this house that had like offices at the front, like just a room at the front of the house that was an office, and Greg's sister worked in this office. Yeah.
Oh, right, and you got to know Greg through there.
I just had seen him do a couple of gigs and stuff. Like he was in Brisbane.
Yeah. He's very funny, Greg Sullivan.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I stole his jokes, but then he knows that I've
you've
told him, and I actually paid him for it as well.
You paid him for it.
And I'm sorry I stole your jokes. He's $50.
It's $50. Oh, he'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, well, if you're in Israel, and so then, what was the time frame? How many years later did you start doing comedy, like at Raw and stuff?
I reckon I did Raw the next year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
George Pell wasn't there. I didn't see him on the night.
No.
I'm here again, Joey.
Maybe it was like a year and a half later or something. It wasn't. Yeah.
Can't get over that.
Yeah.
George Pell. That's amazing.
No, but the first ever gig I did was in high school.
Ah, right.
When I had friends that were in a band.
Yeah.
That had did Unearthed and stuff.
Yeah, cool. That cool band. What are they called?
Humbug. And they would put on these variety nights at the local pub, and where they get a couple of circus people. And, they get a band up from Melbourne and stuff, and then they play. And then I had just turned 18, and I said, I can come to your next gig. And they go, oh yeah, you should get up and do some comedy.
Because you're a funny person, obviously.
Yeah. I did drama and stuff. So,
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, cool. And just went, I don't know what to do. And got up, and I went on stage at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh no.
And died. It was so bad.
Oh, bands are hard, doing gigs with bands.
Oh yeah, because although they just wanted to see the band.
Yeah. How long did you do on stage, you reckon?
Oh, maybe 3 minutes. I don't know. It's so long ago. But that was the night that Diana died. Princess died.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So did people know that at that stage?
No.
No, right. Wow.
I found out afterwards, and I was like, I reckon I died about the same time.
It's on stage.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, that guy just cut in front of us. Good work.
It's all right.
We're in Ivanhoe. People do what they want around here. They don't care. Oh wow. And so then you've been doing comedy 15 or 16 years. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Because once I did Raw, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, what to do, or often people don't though.
Because I moved up from Albury, was living in Albury at the time. Mum was like, "What are you going to do with your life? You can't work at the cinema." Because
What did you do at uni?
Oh, I studied arts, but I was there for 6 months, and then I was not
similar story. A lot of comedians are like that. Who did I interview on this show the other day? And they did Tom Ballard did 3 months of law and just left. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not good at study at all. I recently did. I had to get qualifications for. It's working in after school care.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. It's good backup.
Yeah.
But I
And
had to.
it's only for short periods too, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
2 or 3 hours.
Oh yeah, and I just kind of dip in and out of it and stuff. It's
Yeah.
good for finding material sometimes.
Oh, kids are funny.
Yeah. So I had to get like a certificate for in school age education and care, like in whatever. It's just it's supposed to take maybe 6 months to a year, and it took me 2 years to do it. And I just, and it's an online course, most of it and stuff, but I am so bad.
Is it just a concentration thing, or?
I don't know what it is. Like I would love to know how to deal with it, because like I ended up, being quite severely depressed and anxious, having really big problems with anxiety and stuff. Like, went to the doctors and had to, I went back on medication and stuff. Yeah. And then I realised that that happened all through my studies, in high school.
Has comedy helped any of that, or?
Yeah, because I don't have to study.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But I think it's that.
But being anxious goes with doing stand-up.
I
imagine, I was reading about Celia Piccola in Good Weekend, and I know you used to live with her.
I still do.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah.
And so she said, she has anxiety issues too.
Yeah.
So, which is because we all get anxious before a gig, but I mean, it does dissipate over the years.
Yeah. Oh, that's certainly, yeah.
Like tonight, were you anxious about that gig, or?
No.
Probably in the first minute when you walked on, and after your fantastic introduction, I was anxious for you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I wonder if it helps doing comedy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you've certainly overcome your fears of that kind of thing, anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
of public speaking.
But there's I feel like I have more control over that. But I think it's more, having to do something like write an essay.
Yeah.
That's
hard.
I can't cope with it.
I couldn't imagine going back and doing it now.
Yeah, I really struggled. So, but thankfully I had a really good teacher, lecturer, whatever you want to call
Educator, whatever they're called. Yeah.
Who was really supportive and got it. It's obviously worked with.
It's probably happened a lot before, though.
Yeah, but just was really patient. Like, I would be really easily overwhelmed by things.
Yeah, right.
So if I had an assignment, I'd go, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, and then it'd just all get too much, and then I wouldn't do any of it.
Then how do you go preparing for like a comedy festival show where you've got to write an hour of material? I
don't write it.
Oh, you just write the subjects down, or?
Yeah, sometimes.
Because that builds up a lot of anxiety in people, that preparing shows.
Well, the last few years, I stopped. Yeah, actually, physically writing shows out. Like, I would. I would have ideas for things, and then I would just go to go and do gigs and kind of record it and flesh it out.
Right on stage, which is a technique people use. Yeah, for sure.
But I've regretted that, because the stuff that I've done that I now can't remember.
Oh, I know. That's the way. And then occasionally a friend or an audience member will come and go, "I love you do that thing about penguins." And you're like, "What thing about penguins?" Yeah. Can't remember anything.
Or like someone would, when I got car doored, and people still talk about it. They go, "Oh, I love that bit that you talk where you got car doored." I'm like, "Yeah, so do I, but I can't
remember it. I see subjects in my phone and I'm like, "What? I don't remember the joke about selfies. I don't know what that means."
Oh, yeah.
It's tough. But and how are you enjoying, like, straight ahead?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying Triple R?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Well, this is a good team. How long have you been doing that now? I'll get up here,
Yeah, this is, we've nearly finished our second year.
Yeah, that's good, because for a while there, the Triple R breakfast team was a bit like the Italian government.
Oh.
It kept changing a lot.
Yeah.
Because I did that, of course, in the 90s, and...
Because how long did you...
4 years.
Great, that's my
I did 4 years.
But you did it with different people? Was it just...
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started off with the dream team of Chris Hatzis and Kate Langbrook.
That's right.
And then Hughesy used to ring in. It was great fun. Then Hatsis left because he was the anchor. And then we had a guy, another Chris fill in.
Yeah.
And then that was okay with me, another Chris and Kaiit. And then Kaiit left. And then it was me, John Safran, and someone else. Oh, there was a few combinations. I did with Marique Hardy for a while.
Oh, that's right.
Marique, and John, and we had an anchor, like a producer guy. But Marique left because he threw a CD at her or something, and it was a bit, she was definitely in the right. He was a little bit violent, this guy, and so
I'd leave as well if someone.
And she just went, I'm not going to hang around and get things thrown at me. And then I fell off a stage and broke a bit of my back and ended up in hospital. They didn't operate or anything, and I just never went back.
Really?
Yes, that's such a... Well, I was thinking of leaving anyway, and then I fell off the stage, and I'm just lying there going, no,
I'm done.
I'm just going to stay in my hospital bed, and but it was going on here.
Yeah.
As
pull up at the bus stop.
My wife always goes, they were the best days, weren't they? They were the best days. I'm like, oh, were they? Yeah, we had good fun though. But the thing was back then, we just entertained ourselves. We didn't have any contact with the audience because there was no mobile phones barely.
Well, we've only just got a text line.
I've heard that. Someone said that the other day on this podcast.
Yeah.
So we just... Occasionally people would ring up, but we didn't even do talk back. But it's a great place, Triple R. Look, you're on the Debrief with Geraldine Hickey. Okay, the dollarshaveclub.com delivers high-quality razors right to your home for less than what you'd normally pay. I tell you what, it's great. They send it to you in a little box. There's everything you need. There's a blade, there's cream, there's even a shaving brush. Look, here's your chance to see why over 3 million members love the Dollar Shave Club. Right now, you get your first month of the club for as little as $5. After that, it's just a few bucks a month. Dollar Shave Club is so confident in the quality and the value of all their products. There's no long-term commitment or any hidden fees. There's no reason not to join. Get yours at the dollarshaveclub.com/debrief. That's dollarshaveclub.com/debrief. You're back on the Debrief with Dave O'Neill and Geraldine Hickey. I've got some questions. I ask everyone these questions.
Oh, yes.
What went well tonight and why, do you think? You can talk about the whole night of your act or...
What went...
What went well? You went very well, I thought. It was great.
Yeah, I liked... I thought I ended well. The start was rough.
We're laughing because we were both there with fedora. Ladies and gentlemen, Geraldine Hickey. I think you even had a downward inclination on your name.
Not even a take your seats. We're going to get started.
Come on, guys.
Come on. We've got to get the comedy started up again. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to the comedy, Geraldine Hickey.
What didn't go well and why?
My introduction.
Yeah, your introduction. Sometimes, I know one of my friends, Des Delling, comedian, he goes, we've seriously got to get cards printed out, because he's seen it before with someone else, and they read it out. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome. You may have seen her on shows like Get Cracking, heard her on Triple R Breakfasters. She's been doing comedy for a long time. Please start your clapping, write it all down on a card and give it to them. It's not a bad idea, really.
Or just get one of the comics to MC.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Were there any organisational hazards that got in your way?
The smoke machine.
Oh, man. Was it bad for you?
Yes.
It was like performing in an old Western bar. And I do a joke about teachers in the staff room smoking, like in the 70s, like it's Gorillas in the Mist. And then he pumped it up even more to give me, so I could actually act out teachers in the 1970s staff room smoking. And then for a while there, it was covering my... I don't think anyone could see me.
Oh, man. It was, next level. Because it was one of those things where you don't know whether to mention it or not, because everyone can see it, and I'm sure there would have been people there going, why the fuck is there a smoke machine?
At a comedy night.
And why isn't she saying anything about it? Like, I'm trying to tell my jokes.
So, look, during you, I didn't notice it. Maybe we noticed it more because it was on stage.
But I noticed it when they started pumping it out when Nath was on.
Oh, okay, Nath Valvo was on earlier. Yeah, I wasn't there for that. So, oh, God. And how can we do better next time? Do you reckon? Yeah, I think we have to mention the MC again.
Yeah. Get an MC.
Get the MC.
Or
Fedora.
just tell the MC to wear a collared shirt with his tie.
Yes. Yes.
Don't wear a silk tie over a t-shirt.
Maybe you just don't have the MC. There were 4 comics on, and they're all
We could
very.
have tag team.
We could have tag team. They're all very. No, someone could have introduced Nath off stage, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Nath Felber. He goes on, then he brings on Ivan. Then anyway, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's all. It's gone now. It's finished. We're outside your house. Now we can play a song. I don't even know what music you like, because you're at Triple R, which is obviously an alternative, and that's why I got onto Triple R as a kid. I used to love alternative music.
Yeah.
And there was no Triple J, there was no, even Rage wasn't around, there was nothing except Triple R and PBS in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, so I grew up in the country, so we just had...
What radio station did you have up there? River FM?
Yeah, but it was something else before that. It was called...
The Edge or something? It wasn't The Edge.
No, that was in Shepparton.
Oh, yeah.
We had... oh, gosh, what was it called?
Can you remember any of the names of the DJs? The...
Steve Bowen. He's the local DJ.
Right. And did they go and do 21st as well? Branch out a bit?
Yeah. Steve Bowen still does it.
Wow.
He's like the biggest celebrity in Albury. Yeah.
Wodonga as well?
Absolutely. Steve Bowen's DJs. I'm pretty sure he was on air sometimes as well.
Now, Albury-Wodonga, I've done gigs in Albury one night, then Wodonga the next, and there was a marked difference in the crowd.
Yeah.
There were more tattoos in Wodonga. Mm-hmm. People got up constantly to go to the bar.
Growing up, they used to call people from Wodonga Mexicans.
Right. But Wodonga's more sort of working class than Albury.
Yeah.
Because of the army base and stuff.
Yeah. And it was a bit smaller as well. And kind of...
Yeah, Albury's more established, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go to the main street of Albury, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is like a normal country town. You go to Wodonga, and I know they were doing it up last time I went there.
They're still doing it up. They'll be doing it up forever.
You can't get a handle on Wodonga. You're
Yeah.
like, where is the main town? And then the railway station's really far away. But then again, so is the Albury one.
Yeah.
Albury railway station is like...
Oh, it's a bit... No, it's close to the city.
Oh, it's close to the city. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful railway station though, isn't it, Albury?
At one stage, it had the longest platform in the Southern Hemisphere.
Wow.
Because the trains used to come... Because they had different sized tracks
Yes.
in Victoria and New
I
South
remember
Wales.
changing. I remember changing. And my other memory of Albury-Wodonga is we used to get the bus from Melbourne to Sydney to go and see bands because planes were too expensive in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they always used to stop at Vienna World,
Oh, yes.
which was this... What was it, like an Austrian-themed schnitzel restaurant?
I never went... I drove past there many, many times, but as a local...
You never go there?
Never went there.
Oh,
yeah.
the bus company obviously had a deal with
Yeah.
Hans or whoever owned it.
Yeah.
And you would get off at like midnight and there'd be like teenagers in Lederhausen serving you schnitzels and pints of beer.
Heaven.
You'd all be going, wunderbar, wunderbar. All right, back on the bus. So you get back on the bus half maggoted from your pint of beers and your schnitzels. Go Albury-Wodonga. All right, so we've got to play a song though. Enough
What song?
Albury-Wodonga chit-chat. Terminus Hotel too, that's Albury.
Oh, yeah.
Was that big when you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Songs that I like.
Yeah, what sort of songs do you like?
Heaps of...
Because do you choose them on Triple R?
No, Sarah doesn't...
Sarah's got good taste, hasn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
And I really like her taste in music as well. And she knows what I like. So quite often when, CDs come in, because we get all these CDs and stuff all the time, she'll go through and she goes, you'll like that. And she is right most of the time.
So what sort of music do you like?
I like, honestly, everything. I'm really... some of my favourite albums this year have been Methyl Ethel I really liked, and Wet Lips and Cable Ties are great.
I don't know any of these bands. I'm sure they're good.
Oh, really? Wet Lips and Cable Ties are a local Melbourne punk.
Oh, okay. Well,
band.
do you like punk?
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to this year. I think obviously doing this job, I'm getting more educated in music. So, but then, I also love like hip hop as well.
Oh yeah, right. What sort of hip hop?
Like lots of, big fan of female-based hip-hop, like Missy Elliott and some local stuff. There's a new act, Kaiit, which is Kaiit.
Kaiii, yeah, right.
Kaiit, who's phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah.
We should
really.
play some of her.
Yeah, do it.
I'm trying to think if you've ever seen any female. I saw FK Twigs. Do you know FK Twigs?
Oh, no.
Oh, she does hip hop dance. Anyway, look. All right, and the Rocksteady crew.
Oh, yeah.
They had a girl on it.
Yeah, that'll do.
Show us what you do. Make a break. Make a move. Hey, you, the Rocksteady crew. All right, but we'll try and find some Kaiit.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Well, Geraldine, thanks for coming on the podcast. And if you're in Melbourne, you can listen to it on 3RRR every Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 9. And if you're not, you're on Twitter.
Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's my favourite.
Oh, yeah, that's what the young people are into. I've been told that. Insta. Good one. Geraldine
Just
Hickey.
photos.
Just photos, yeah. And apparently people are more positive on...
Yeah, they're nice.
They're nice on Instagram. Whereas
And you
Twitter,
can write as much as you want.
Yeah, whereas Twitter, they're like, nah, you're shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right, here we go. Thanks, Geraldine.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.